Hello dear students, welcome to you all to the chemistry virtual class. Today I am going to discuss about very important topics, electron configuration. But if we want to discuss about electron configuration, at first we have to know what is quantum number, the principles of electron configuration which are related with electron configuration, some of the laws which are related with electron configuration. Suppose Above principle, Pauli's exclusion principle. Okay. So, at first I am going to start quantum number. What is quantum number? To express the size, shape, the size of the orbit of an atom, the shape of the orbit and the orientation of electrons in orbit and the direction of electrons, 4 numbers are needed. These 4 numbers are known as quantum number. There are 4 types of quantum number. Number 1, principal quantum number, subsidiary quantum number, magnetic quantum number and spin quantum number. And I told you that for expressing the size of the orbit, shape of the orbit, the orientation of electron in the orbit and the direction of electron, 4 numbers are needed. These are called quantum numbers. So, according to this, there are 4 types of quantum number. Principal quantum number. Principal quantum number is expressed by small n. Small n. See, you know that small n is equals to energy levels 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 like this. These are energy levels. N is used for expressing the energy levels. Whenever n is equals to 1, it is K. Whenever n is equals to 2, it is L, M, N like this. So, through principal quantum number, we can understand the size of the orbit. How can we understand? Suppose this one is nucleus. Around the nucleus, there are energy levels. This one is first energy level, this one is second energy level. Second energy level is greater than first energy level. Third energy level is greater than second energy level, like this way. So, we can understand the size of the orbit through principal quantum number. Is this clear to you, dear students? Now, come to subsidiary quantum number. Subsidiary quantum number is expressed by small l, and value of small l will start from 0 and will be finished up to n minus 1. So that whenever n is equals to 1, that time the value of l is equals to 0. Whenever n is equals to 2, that time L is equals to 0, 1 like this. Whenever n is equals to 3, that time L is equals to 0, 1, 2. How? 0, 1 and n is equals to 3. Therefore, 3 minus 1 is equals to 2. So, last one is 2. Whenever n is equals to 4, that time L is equals to 0, 1, 2, 3. For each value of L, we will get a subshell. Whenever n is equals to 1, we are getting only one value of L, 0. For the value of L 0, we are getting the subshell and the name of this subshell is S subshell. Whenever n is equals to 2, we are getting 2 values of L. For 0, the subshell is S and 1 subshell is P. Whenever n is equals to 3, L is equals to 0, 1, 2. So, can you say What is the name of this S, P, D? For 0, S, for 1, P subshell, for 2, D subshell. Then whenever n is equals to 4, that time L is equals to 0, 1, 2, 3. That means S, P, D, F. These are known as subshell. So, through subsidiary quantum number we are getting the ideas of subshells, and we can understand the shape of the orbit also, though as we are getting here different subshell. So, through this subshell, by seeing this subshell we can understand the shape of the orbit. Now come to the third one, magnetic quantum number. Magnetic quantum number is expressed by small m, and the value of small m, that means magnetic quantum number is 0 plus minus L. Therefore, whenever L is equals to 0, that time m is equals to also 0. Whenever L is equals to 1, that time m is equals to minus 1, 0 plus 1. Like this way you can determine the value of magnetic quantum number, and for each value of m, one orbital will be obtained. Here whenever L is equals to 0, we got only one value of m. For one value we will get only one orbital. Whenever L is equals to 1, we got 3 values of m, minus 1, 0, plus 1. For 3 values of m, we will get 3 orbitals. Is this clear to you? So, through magnetic quantum number, I told you that we can understand the orientation of electrons in orbit, and through the value of m, we are getting the number of orbitals. Then come to spin quantum number. Spin quantum number. In case of any orbital, only 2 electrons highest can exist. In one orbital, highest 2 electrons can exist, and the direction of these 2 electrons will never be same. If one is clockwise, that means if one is like this, another one will be like this. If one is plus up, another one will be minus up. That means through spin quantum number we can get the direction of electrons in orbital. So, these are the significance of quantum numbers. Principal quantum number will indicate the size of the orbit, subsidiary quantum number will indicate the shape of the orbit, magnetic quantum number will indicate the orientation of electron inside the orbit, and spin quantum number will indicate the direction of electron in orbital. Is this clear to you? Now, I am coming to the laws which are related to the electron configuration. At first, come to Aufbau principle. Do you know? This Aufbau is a German word. Aufbau means building up. Whenever a building is constructed, you know that at first foundation is given, then ground floor, then first floor, then second floor, like this way. At the same way, at first electrons will enter into lower energy level, then to higher energy level according to their energy. Now, you can ask me, that means how can you understand which one is lower energy level, which one is higher energy level? Before that, let me say the principle clearly. Aufbau principle, the electrons at first will enter into lower energy level, then to higher energy level according to above principle. So we can determine whether a or whether it is higher or lower energy level, n plus L. Through this formula we can understand the energy level is higher energy level or lower energy level. Suppose come to 4s. In case of 4s, here 4 is equals to principal quantum number, that means n. The value of 4s should be determined by using the value of n plus L, that means 4 plus, you know that for the value of L 0, S subshell can be obtained. So value of 4s is equals to 4. Like this way you can understand which one is lower, which one is higher. Then suppose 3D. In case of 3D, value of n is equals to 3 and value of d is equals to 2 is equals to 5. So can you say which one is higher, which one is lower? Between 3D and 4s, 3D is higher energy level, 3D is higher energy level and 4s is lower energy level. Is that clear to you? So electrons will enter according to their strength. Suppose at first electrons will enter into 1s orbital, then to 2s orbital, then 2p, then 3s, then 3p, then where electron is supposed to enter? Electron is supposed to enter 3D, because 3D is the orbital of third energy level, but instead of 3D, after 3p electrons will enter into 4s. After 4s it will enter into 3D. After 3D it will enter into where, can you say? After 3D it will enter into 4p. After 4p, then it is supposed to enter into 4D, but 4D is, energy of 4D is higher than 5s. That is why at first electrons will go to 5s, then to 4D. Like this way it will be continued. Then after 4D electrons will go to 5p. After 5p electrons will enter into where, can you say? After 5p electrons will enter into 6s. Then 6s, what do you think? After 6s electrons will enter into 5d orbital? No. After 6s electron will go to 4f orbital. Is this clear to you? Okay. Then come to another principle, Pauli's exclusion principle. According to Pauli's exclusion principle, the value of 4 quantum numbers for any 2 electrons of any atom can never be same. Highest 3 quantum number can be same, but one must be different. It is Pauli's exclusion principle. So let me show the electron configuration how to do. At first I am starting from atomic number 1. Whose atomic number is 1? Hydrogen. Atomic number is 1. So students, can you say where electron will enter? I told you that at first electrons will go to this 1s, and you may ask me how many electrons will enter into 1s orbital. If you want to know, you have to apply a formula. How many electrons are there in s orbital? For determining this, you can apply this formula. See, 2 into twice L plus 1. Here 2 into, for s orbital, L is equals to 0 plus 1. So that in case of s orbital, highest 2 electrons can exist. So I am keeping this as side note, and whenever I will do electron configuration, if you have any confusion, just you mark this. In s orbital, highest 2 electrons can exist. In p orbital, 2 into twice L plus 1 is equals to 2 into 1 plus 1. Why 1? Because I told you for the value of L, whenever it is 1, that time P subshell can be found. Value of P is equals to, for P subshell, L is equals to 1. Therefore, 2 into 2 plus 1 is equals to 6. In case of P subshell, highest 6 electrons can exist. Like this way, in case of D, total 10 electrons, and in case of F, total 14 electrons can exist. So, in case of hydrogen, electrons will enter into 1s orbital, 1s 1, as hydrogen has only 1 electron. Then come to helium. Atomic number of helium is 2. So, total 2 electrons. Where it will enter? Into 1s orbital, 1s 2. Then come to sodium. Can you say what is the atomic number of sodium? The atomic number of sodium is 11. So, see the sequence. According to this sequence, electron will enter. At first, 1s 2, 2s 2, 2p 6. How many has gone? 3. How many left? 1 electron only. Where will it go? In 3s. 3s 1. Then come to potassium. Before that, you write a question, why the last electron of potassium enters into, why the last electron of potassium enters into 4s orbital instead of 3d orbital. That means I want to say the last electron of potassium is supposed to enter into 3d, but it is entering into 4s. How? See the electron configuration. At first 1s2, 2s2, 2p6, 3s2. Then after 3s, what is the sequence? 3p. Electron will enter into 3p. Total how many electrons can enter in p orbital? Total 6. 3p 6. Then electron is supposed to enter into 3d, but I told you that 3d is higher energy level, 4s is lower energy level. So, at first electron will go to 4s after 3p. At the 4s orbital, only 1 electron is left. This electron will enter into 4s orbital and this will 0. So, if you get the question, why the last electron of potassium enters into 4s orbital, that time at first you have to give the electron configuration, then above principle. According to above principle, at first electrons will enter into lower energy level, then to higher energy level. Then you will show how can you understand which one is lower, which one is higher through n plus L formula. By n plus L formula, you will show the value of 3d and the value of 4s. Like this way, you will write that for this reason, the last electron of potassium enters into 4s orbital instead of 3d orbital. Is that clear to you? Okay. Students, have you understood the electron configuration however I have discussed? If you understand, now I am giving you copper. Can you try? Okay, I want to help you. At first 1s2, 2s2, 2p6, 3s2, 3p6, 3d, 4s. So, how many electrons are supposed to enter over there? 2. And remaining electrons? 9. Total how many? 2, 4, 10, 12, 18, 27, 29. And the atomic number of copper is 29. According to the general rule, the electron configuration of copper should be like this. But it is showing exceptionality. How is it showing exceptionality? In this case, copper is taking 1 electrons from 4s orbital and making 10 orbitals in 3d orbital. What happened? Copper is taking 3d orbital is taking 1 electron from 4s orbital to fulfill d orbital. Why? Because we know half filled and full-filled orbital are most stable. Half filled and full-filled orbitals are most stable. Here there was 9 electrons at the 3d orbital. So if it takes 1 electron from s orbital, so that d is getting 10 electrons. In this case it is becoming stable. So for getting this stability, 3d orbital is taking 1 electron from 4s. So this is the correct electron configuration of copper, and it is exceptional type of electron configuration. Have you understood? And I told you that whenever any orbital is half filled or full filled, that time this one is most stable. Suppose the highest capability of P6, if there is 6 electrons, it is stable. Even if there is 3 electrons, it is also stable. D orbital 10, here is 10 electrons, it is stable. But even if there is 5 electrons, it is stable. In case of F, 14, 7, for both of these, this is stable. Half filled or full filled orbitals are always stable. Another one exceptional electron configuration I can show you. Suppose chromium. Can you say what is the electron configuration, what is the atomic number of chromium? This electron configuration. Say 2, 4, 10, 12, 18, 22, 24. The atomic number of chromium is 24. So according to the general rule, the electron configuration of chromium should be like this. But you see, here is 4 electrons in 3d orbital. Whenever you will find that in d orbital there is 4 or 9 electrons, that time their tendency will take 1 electron from 4s orbital. From this view, from this intention, 3d will take 1 electron from 4s and will be 5 electrons over here. Previously there was 4 electrons and now there will be 5 electrons, and at the 4s there will be 1 electrons. According to general rule, in case of 3d, there are supposed to be 4 electrons, but for getting stability, for making 3d half filled, 3d orbital is taking 1 electron from 4s orbital. By this way, copper and chromium both are showing exceptionality in electron configuration. So dear students, today I have discussed about quantum number, electron configuration and exceptional type of electron configuration. Even if you have any problem, if you have any question, you can ask your subject teacher. So see you at the next class. Thank you.